Good evening, Center Merchants families. This is Dr. Masera with a quick weekly message for Friday, September 18th, 2020. I just want to say we have finished our first complete full week of school, and things are going very well thus far. While we have seen many circumstances throughout the island, upwards of 30 cases in districts that have resulted in partial shutdowns or full school closures, Center Merchants has been spared at this time. I do not want to say it is an inevitability, but we are being cautious and we are continuing to take every precaution. I would remind everyone to continue to exercise good personal hand hygiene and respiratory hygiene. As we've talked about in school and we've taught the children, that is the most important thing. I would also remind that while we're in school, we are maintaining a social distancing of 6 feet and we are requiring the universal masks. This will, I think, as people get a little bit more comfortable with our school environment, they may tend to try to, gather a little bit more. And we want to just make sure that people are cognizant that we really can't do that. In order to maintain safe and a healthy and safe learning environment, we must make sure that everyone is doing their part. So parents, I'd encourage you to speak to your children about that, just to continue making sure that they are doing all the things they can to keep us safe. We do hope that some of the transportation issues have been worked out. Clearly, transportation is a little bit different, and that is because we are on a red and white cohort, so we have different routes on Monday and Tuesday than we have on Thursday and Friday, but we have been trying to work through any of those issues and making sure that everyone is being picked up in a timely manner. Our arrival and dismissals seem to be going well, and we're very comfortable with those procedures that we have in place. We did talk about having a look back period. Our administrative team will be gathering on Monday to talk about, we said September 21st would be that first look back. We will be gathering on Monday to have a conversation about how things are going and what we believe we can do in terms of capacity. We will have a couple of weeks worth of data we can look at and we can say, how are we doing with our cleaning? How are we doing with our sanitization? Our ability to maintain social distance and reinforce and enforce PPE regulations. So that's a conversation that we'll have, and we will be encouraging more conversation about that. Certainly we'll be reporting out once the Board of Education makes a decision on how we will proceed. We did get word last week that athletics is postponed through January of 2021. That being said, you will see that some of our field usage will open up to some of our local teams and our local youth teams, as well as potentially some off-season workouts for some sports. We want to keep in mind, though, however, that again, with the phased reopening, that all of these things must adhere to the guidelines for a safe return to play. That means that we must have PPE, we must have social distancing, parents as spectators will be limited, and they must adhere to the social distancing on the sidelines. I know that our youth coordinators will be expressing this to our parents, but we just are asking for cooperation from parents so that the kids can play in a safe manner and return to our fields. One of the things that we've been doing is offering our meals, and we offered free meals to anyone under 18 in the Center Merchants community. Those meals are available, and they're available for pickup. However, our grab-and-go meals at Clayton Huey, in the Clayton Huey bus loop, will no longer be offered after September 21st. Those will be at the high school. We did notice that only a few, less than 10, were being picked up at Clayton Huey, so we are consolidating to one location to be a little bit more efficient. So again, anyone under the age of 18 can pick up a meal at no charge from 10 to 12 Wednesdays and Thursdays. So keep in mind, Wednesdays and Thursdays, 10 to 12 now at the high school, you can pick up those meals. I want to say that we had a wonderful presentation in our Superintendent's Association by a gentleman by the name of John Gordon. You may be familiar with his book, The Energy Bus, or Power of a Positive Team, which is a book that I gave to all of our teachers at the start of the pandemic last year. John Gordon also wrote a book called The Power of Positive Leadership. And we had a seminar on that. And I want to share one simile that John shared there. John basically compared the life we're living in this pandemic. It's like a pot of boiling water. It's like living in a pot of boiling water. And maybe some of us feel like that. We feel like it's a pot of boiling water. But boiling water has an interesting effect. Boiling water, if you take a carrot and you put it in boiling water, it changes the carrot. It turns the carrot limp. And that has an effect on that carrot. It transforms it. If you put eggs in there, the eggs harden. They harden over time. And so things are hardened by their time, or they're softened, hardened by their environment, or they can be softened by their environment. However, other items, such as a coffee bean, might have a different effect. A coffee bean actually transforms the environment in which it's in. And when you put coffee beans into boiling water, they turn that boiling water into something that's pleasant and pleasurable to everyone. So I would just like to say that working in this community and being able to experience the support that we've had from parents and see the wonderful work that our teachers are doing, I want to thank you all for being coffee beans. So that being said, when you think about this pandemic, try to be a coffee bean. Try to adapt to the environment and change that environment for the better. I would like to wish you a happy Friday and a happy Rosh Hashanah to anybody celebrating. Happy New Year to anyone that is Jewish in our community. And we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.